8 News reporter Nate Eaton is there live, close to the scene with the very latest for us. Nate, what do you have?
We want to take you right now. I'm here with one of the men who kind of played a key role in all of the events today. We're outside the apartment complex. Patrick Cavanaugh, you're inside your apartment, correct?
Correct.
Describe what happened and what you did.
I was sitting there and I heard 3 loud booms. Didn't sound like explosions. So I got up and went out to my sliding door back deck. I looked down and saw a pilot laying on the ground. His sheet still hooked to the building. As soon as I saw him, I knew exactly what had happened. I didn't think it was that close. I did a body survey on him for broken bones, open wounds. I didn't see any. The poor boy was in shock.
But he was talking to you.
He was talking. He wasn't moving at all. He was just laying there on his shoulder, and went in to try to dial 911, but the cell phone, it didn't go through. Went back out. Our neighbors, my nephew next door, had some neighbors to help pick the guy up. Once I found him, didn't feel like he had any broken bones. We moved him to the corner of the parking lot away from the flames. I didn't know how close the flames were. I heard secondary explosions. I didn't know if it was ammunition, fuel tanks, gas lines of the apartment complex. I didn't know where the jet had crashed.
But you heard it, and you had a pilot lying, what, on your back deck?
On the back deck.
And what were his injuries like?
He just, from what I could tell, he didn't have any open wounds. He just had a little blood, I think, around the nose area. I didn't feel any broken bones. He was conscious. He was in shock. So I made a decision. When I saw the black smoke come across the top of the building, I knew we had to move him, regardless.
You've had quite a health history yourself. This was pretty remarkable for you. You're here moving this pilot who's just
Heavy guy. The guy on my back is killing me.
Yeah. Talk about how you were able to do this.
I've gone, like I said, I've had 5 heart attacks. It was my old rescue squad training, adrenaline. You'd have done the same thing. You'd have done the same thing. You don't have time to think. I'll think about it a little later tonight, but you just didn't have time. You had to act. And then with my nephew and some of the other neighbors, we went around to make sure we got the people out of the building, because this is an adult community. We have a lot of, how can I say this politely, elderly, and we had to make sure, did what we could to get the people out. But they heard the boom, they saw the fire, and believe me, they were coming out.
Would you say you're a hero for helping move this pilot?
No. They would have done all the same thing. As soon as they saw the fire, they knew he didn't have any open wounds, so sure, they would have grabbed him, but just like a MASH unit, load and go.
And how does the apartment complex look right now?
Terrible. I think my apartment building is okay, but we've got a lot of damage. My sister and mother just moved out 2 weeks ago, apparently, where the jet came down, and I think their building's destroyed.
Wow. Patrick Cavanaugh, you did good work today.
I wasn't by myself.
Thank you very much for talking with us. We'll let you take a break here. I want to kind of set the stage from where we're at. The apartments are back here. There's a lot of media here from all over the place, as you can imagine. The apartments are back here behind some of these stores along this main road where we are at here in Virginia Beach. We're expected to hear a news conference around 5:15 for an update. 6 people taken to the hospital, including 2 pilots and 4 civilians who are inside of the apartment. Miraculously, we're told that none of these injuries are critical, non-life-threatening injuries after this jet came crashing down here about a half mile from the ocean, we're told. And Patrick Cavanaugh, the man we just spoke with right here, played a key role in helping one of these pilots. We're going to be here and continually bring you updates throughout the newscast. Again, a 5:15 update is expected. We will carry that live here on 8 News. For now, reporting live in Virginia Beach, I'm Nate Eaton. Back to you.
8 News reporter Nate Eaton is there. He's been following the story all evening long. He joins us now live. Nate?
Juan, we do know that crews are now telling us that 95% of the apartment complex has been gone through. I'm going to show you one of the buildings right now. You can see that nothing much is left of it, just a brick shell as fire crews continue to be here on the scene. Now, we have been told that 3 people are still unaccounted for. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are somewhere inside of the apartment complex, but it means that crews haven't been able to track them down. They could be away on vacation. They could be somewhere else. The good news is that no one has been reported missing at this point. Still, when you consider the fact that 6 people had minor injuries, that no one was killed or seriously hurt, many people are saying this is truly a miracle. Lucky indeed. The Navy fighter jet crashed into a dense residential neighborhood shortly after takeoff from the Naval Air Station Oceana. The pilots immediately detected a massive fuel leak and dumped the gas before the F-18 dove into this apartment complex. First responders took care of the injured. Dozens of police cars, fire trucks, and other emergency vehicles filled the neighborhood. Multiple buildings were engulfed in flames. It's believed the 2 jet pilots waited until the last moment to eject to avoid hitting nearby schools. The apartment complex is just a few miles away from the Naval Air Station. The Navy says initial indications are that the aircraft suffered a catastrophic mechanical malfunction.
It's a little difficult out here, Juliet.
Now, crews say it's actually going to take days and days before they can clear all of the debris out of the apartment complex. They say that at this point they're literally going through and peeling back layer by layer because a lot of the second-story units have fallen onto the first-story units. Now, one of the most miraculous stories out of all of this is a retired gentleman who was inside of his house when this crash happened. He looks out the back door, and there's one of the pilots lying on his porch. Listen to that experience right now.
I heard 3 loud explosions, or booms. So I walked out my patio door. As soon as I saw the pilot laying on the ground, I knew exactly what had happened. He was just laying as still as he could. The poor guy was in shock. I checked his body for broken bones, any open wounds. He had some blood on his face, I guess from his nose. He was pale, but other than that, he was in good shape. He was very apologetic about crashing. I told him, don't worry about it, son. We're going to take care of you. And I heard other explosions while we were there. I don't know, ammunition, fuel tank, gas lines. I didn't know it was that close until I saw the smoke coming up over the top of the building. I said, people, we gotta get out of here. I'm in shock.
For something like this happening. So, Eddie, that's what we have. We're about to get a new update from the police department.
My son called to check on me and told him I was all right. My old rescue skills kicked in, and I did what I could for the guy.
Truly some heroic actions there by that gentleman. We do know that this is kind of an elderly apartment complex where elderly people live. Again, we're going to zoom in one quick second here before we go back inside. Look at the shell of that outside apartment building. At least 5 buildings here have major damage just like that. Red Cross assisting everybody who has been impacted, or at least those people that need the assistance tonight. And this will take many, many days and months to get this all taken care of. Still no cause of the crash determined at this point other than the mechanical problem. Also, the good news is everybody has been released from the hospital, we are told, except 1 pilot. Everyone should be home, sleeping in their own beds tonight, or at least somewhere safe and warm. For now, reporting live in Virginia Beach, I'm Nate Eaton, 8 News.
All right, thanks. We're about 90 minutes away now from a university commemoration and candlelight vigil for those killed in the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. 8 News reporter Nate Eaton is live for us tonight in Blacksburg.
2007. were actually held today here at Virginia Tech. Still many students, faculty members, and staff taking time to visit the April 16th memorial. You can see some of them right now walking past the 32 Hokie stones that were put in place after the massacre, each stone representing one of the victims who was killed that day. There's also a bench up there that represents the survivors of the shooting. Now, many students here on campus today were not here 5 years ago. Those students at that time have since gone on and graduated, at least most of them. Still, the mood here today very somber. Listen to one student we spoke with as she describes it.
We held a moment of silence and we spoke about it for a little bit. Everyone's been kind of honoring those who passed away, not very hostile, not anything that's just brought the campus together.
Was placed at the 32 Hokie stones. It was put there at midnight. It will burn continuously for 24 hours until tonight at midnight, when it will be extinguished. Coming up here at 7:30, a candlelight vigil will be held in honor of that day. Governor Bob McDonnell is expected to speak, as are some others, and tonight on 8 News at 11, we will show you pictures from that event. For now, reporting live at Virginia Tech, I'm Nate Eaton, 8 News.
It was 5 years ago today. A gunman killed 32 students and faculty at Virginia Tech.
8 News reporter Nate Eaton's live now with the latest for us.
Somber night here at Virginia Tech today. You can see behind me people are still filing past the 32 Hokie stones that were placed here on the campus after the 2007 shooting. Here on the cover of the Collegiate Times today, a big Roman numeral 5 signifying 5 years since that deadly day. Now, for the first time since April 16th, 2007, classes were actually held on the anniversary today, and tonight became a time for reflection. Governor Bob McDonnell was here and gave some comforting remarks to the students. Also, President Charles Steger, the president of Virginia Tech, spoke, as did the student body president, who was serving in his position at the time of this massacre back in 2007. And also, every candle here among the 10,000 plus students that were there was lit in remembrance of those 32 people who died that day and the many others who were wounded. Now, an interesting fact about the candles, many of them, in fact the majority of them used tonight, were actually used back in 2007. I'm told that after the shooting in 2007, Walmart sent about 40 to 50,000 of these candles, and they have been used every year since that tragic day back in 2007. And they will continue to be used. As for the big candle behind me at this memorial, it will stay lit until midnight, when it will then be extinguished until next year on this tragic day. Reporting live at Virginia Tech tonight, I'm Nate Eaton, 8 News.